was to say set up an Instagram outbound prospecting campaign on Instagram. I think personally, out of the like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, I think Instagram is your strongest weapon. I think it's where most of the prospects are, etc. And this is how you would pretty much just go find prospects, how to message them, the follow-up system, etc. I'm going to kind of run through it all. Obviously, preferably, you're going to have a virtual assistant doing this. And I'd suggest getting that sorted out straight away, like a $3 virtual assistant. I've done a video on how to hire contractors, I believe, so it's all there. Yeah, let's go for it. So first of all, you're going to need an optimized profile. If your profile isn't optimized, you're going to have a very hard time actually booking appointments. And the question you want to ask yourself to know if your account is actually qualified, try and go into the prospect's shoes. What would a prospect think when they come across your profile? Is it, one, I guess, is it professional? Two, I guess, is it authentic? If you're prospecting on like a template agency account where it's like there's none of you, there's none of your face, it's gonna be very hard for prospects to warm up to you. And I kind of think the whole point of like an outbound campaign is that we want to warm up the prospects as much as we can before they actually get on the call. And when you have a template agency account, so that'd be, for example, there's none of your face, it's all just templates, like cute looking templates from Canva, but it's like it doesn't really cut it, right? So you want to ask yourself, what would they think when they go on your profile, right? I'd suggest it being you. I'd suggest you being the face, so whether it's your name, dot, and then your company's name, I think that works so much better for your campaigns, right? So 3 ways we can find prospects is through hashtags, search, and Google, right? So you're going to come up with a list of hashtags with just people in your niche. So whether you're doing you supply your service to finance people or real estate people or content creators or, e-commerce brands, you're going to kind of tailor that to your hashtag search and Google search, okay? And then once you've kind of searched in, you want, obviously, the aim is to find a qualified lead, and you'll know your qualified lead. If you don't know your qualified lead, then what you've been doing, right? So this would just be build out a sheet of what your ideal lead would look like to you, right? So your like number one prospect, what he would look like for you. So what's their current struggles, what business are they in, what niche are they in, how many followers they've got if you're targeting to like influencers. Everything that you need to know about the qualified lead, and obviously you'd tell the virtual assistant this in high detail. You'd preferably go for a call with them, and then use the suggested tab to find similar leads. So when you found a qualified lead, you'd go on that little drop down suggested tabs, and it will show you like very similar accounts. Instagram will suggest you very very similar accounts to your prospect, which is a very nice thing to use because it's pretty much on autopilot, really, right? So, and then obviously message the prospect, responds, and you're probably thinking actually like what to message the prospect. The one thing that you want to kind of just avoid is non-robot, right? So we had a virtual assistant, and she was emailing or messaging prospects like, "Hi!" ! Just come across amazing content. It's like, look at my profile. I wouldn't obviously speak like that, and then like some weird happy face emoji at the end. It was like, this is just never going to work because it was so robotic. People know about hiring appointment setters in the DMs. It's like they know whether it's an appointment setter or just you, right? So it needs to be an authentic text, but something that obviously still have the elements of give a nice compliment, talk about their content, and then ask some questions. The whole point is rapport building, right? So big thing is just non-robot, and you want to sync that into your virtual assistant's head. You want to be like, mate, you need to not be a robot here. I know there's a lot of virtual assistants and appointment setters that come across very, they lack like just instinct thinking, right? Is this going to work or not? And you'll land so many more appointments when you come across more authentic, other than just like going by the script. You never want to follow the script of just like, hey, just come across your account, so glad we could connect. Because it's like, why are you glad? Like, people can read that shit, right? So obviously non-robot, and just like don't stick to the script. Kind of come up with your own things. Authentic always works better, right? So you've got, if they respond no, then you're going to activate your follow-up system. You need a follow-up system because you'll lose out on so many prospects if if your follow-up system's a bit all over the place. If you don't remind your virtual assistants to follow up within 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. This all needs to be within your kind of system to your VA should know this, and they will know this, okay? And then if they respond yes, let them know who you are. Like, hey, mate, the whole point of it is, hey, I'm a human being, and I could have some offer for you. I could have some value for you. I'm not a robot. I'm not trying to sell you anything dodgy. I am a genuine person, okay? That's the whole vibe we're trying to get across. And then what we do, obviously the service, but in a way where it's kind of mysterious, and there's still elements of mystery, but like, oh wait, this could really help my business, etc. Speaking from the prospect, and then how we can solve a problem. People buy off problems. If you can solve someone's problem, if you really think about any purchase you've made in the last week, it's because it solved a problem, okay? That Amazon purchase that you bought is because it solved some sort of problem in your life. Even if it's clothing, it solved the problem of you not feeling great in your current clothing, right? It needs to solve a problem. Problems are annoying for human beings, right? They're an obstacle, they're annoying, they're stressful, and the whole point is to solve a problem, okay? And then offer to send a video sales letter, okay? This is something that I've been using a lot more recently. This is something I got off Serge Guattari. It's an incredible tool, but pretty much just a video sales letter. So you got very similar to this, just going over what you can do, because you may have a fantastic service, but it's how you can actually show that your service is good, right? It's very easy for someone not to listen to you, someone to think you're, just one of the pack and not anything special, right? But when we can actually show prospects how good our offer could potentially be for them, especially if you actually believe in your service, that's just like a bonus, right? Then you're going to land a lot more. That's the whole point, okay? So offer to send a video sales letter. No response, follow up again. It's always follow up, because there's no point not, right? Interested. If they're not interested, ask what they didn't like, ask for feedback. That's just mainly so I can go in and then go, okay, what wasn't good about this? If you get free virtual assistants all getting the same feedback and as to why a prospect didn't watch the video or didn't seem interested, then you have the reason why you're not booking appointments, right? So it's very, very important that you get the feedback, that you can see what's wrong with your sales letter. You can see what particular part you lost a client, okay? Or prospect, so you can obviously do it better next time, right? And then if they're interested, yes, sales call, right? So that's how you'd go about booking appointments on Instagram. Instagram is literally just following up prospecting, okay? So obviously you need to have the right systems, you need to have the right scripts, and it's all about just how well you can actually connect with a prospect. And trust me, the more you do this, the more you'll see how much what actually works, okay? So you'll see, because you starting this off, you'll do like really bad scripts, and they'll be really badly authentic, and they'll be like robots, and you'll probably have untrained virtual assistants, and it just won't work, right? But when you actually have trained virtual assistants, and you can fire a lot of outreach every single day, it compounds, and someone that you followed up with 3 days ago could book a call, and and then it's compounded, right? So this is how you would go about signing or getting prospects on a call. I remember I used to watch videos where it was like, send a Loom video. If you're sending like a Loom video, there is no point. There is absolutely no point. You need to get the prospect closer to just being as warm as possible, and that's when you get them on an appointment, right? So if you're doing stuff like that isn't this, if you aren't warming up your prospect, if you don't have a good follow-up system, if you aren't offering value, like the video sales letter, if you aren't, giving them something, then you're never going to book appointments from Instagram, and you'll probably find that how you aren't currently, right? So this is how you go sign Instagram. It's clients on Instagram. Maxwell Potential. Scale my Farmers. See you next one.